Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Capricorn, this is a bonus reading, and our card tonight is the Hermit. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a look and see what do these tea leaves have to say tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. All right, so we have a bit of a quest, it looks like. We have up here, it looks like a wizard or a traveler or something like this. Now, it kind of looks like a face on this side. You can see the eyes, the nose, the mouth, but I don't want to look at it like that. I'm looking at it more like this, like a person with a hat on. Okay, here's the head, here's the body, here's the legs. This would be the backpack. Now, over here, I see there's another person with them. You can see the arms, the head, the body kind of down in here. And we have a dragon. They're both facing a dragon. So this gives me the vibes of, yeah, two people out on a quest together, right? On some kind of hero's journey. And coming in contact with, yeah, that kind of serpentine energy, that dragon. Now, we are still in the year of the dragon as we speak. So when I'm seeing the dragon in the readings, I know that we're facing the rest of this year, right? And it is the lunar year as well. So it goes a little further into the spring or the fall, depending on if you're in the northern or southern hemisphere. It goes into like February, I think, this year. So a few more months, right? A few more months of the dragon year. And I feel like you have gotten to this point where you're kind of looking around, kind of taking stock of, what have I done? What have I accomplished this year? Where have I put my energies? What parts of my life have I progressed in? And where maybe I have dropped the ball a little bit, right? We all have those things that are like, dang, I really wanted to get this done. And here it is, 9 months later, and it's still sitting around waiting, right? And so I feel like there's kind of this renewed energy rising. I could see you getting into that kind of, it's like when spring hits, right? And you're like, okay, let's open up the windows. Let's get the closets cleaned out. I'm going to dust everything. I'm going to wash the walls. I'm going to, get everything decluttered. Spring cleaning. Now, this happens in the fall as well. Right? We get into nesting mode. So I could see you really having this kind of energy. Like, I'm going to meet all of these tasks head on and I'm going to get this stuff done. Right? I'm not going to let myself keep putting off these goals I had for, maybe it was even just for the first couple months of the year. And here it has, it's kind of lingered a little bit, right? And somehow it's like, okay, now it's almost fall again. So, yeah, I do. I see you kind of rallying yourself, getting really in the thing. And whatever it is that's on that list of to-dos, yeah, I feel like you're really going to knock some of that stuff out here, okay? Now, I want to keep looking. So we also have, it looks like a little dog You can see kind of, if you can imagine this kind of big head, the eyes, the nose, maybe a little bow. And next to it, we have a cup or a vase. It looks like a cup. And there is a heart right above it. Kind of almost reminds me of like one of those characters from Beauty and the Beast. One of the, like the candle, the candelabra, or the, I don't know, what are the other ones? The dresser, armoire that, talks and stuff. Kind of has that vibe, right? So I'm looking, and I feel like there is kind of this, I get the impression of something like a very kind of soft aesthetic. Almost like, and now I'm thinking of like the carpets. The carpets are pristine. The couch is covered like in that plastic stuff. Like back in the day, I don't know, maybe people still have these rooms. I don't, because I'm just a mess of a person. But I remember back in the day, every once in a while, you would go to somebody's house and they would have a good room, right? Where all the good furniture is, where you're not allowed to go. You don't go in there and sit. All of the, the couches have plastic, or there's like runners on the actual floor so you don't step on the carpet. And I always found this quite perplexing, because I didn't grow up in a house that had anything that was like nice rooms or anything like that. So I always thought, wow, that's kind of weird. Why would somebody have that? But I feel like it's there. It's almost like this is, I don't know, maybe a grandmother, maybe your mother, somebody in the family that has a house or had a house like this. And I'm almost imagining that they have like a little lap dog. That's what's coming to mind. Now, I feel like I almost feel like you were singled out as a person that they really liked. Like, I almost imagine that this is like a family member who never really wanted to be around anybody, didn't like anybody. Everybody thought, oh, they think they're better than us. And yeah, they probably thought that too, right? And so, to your surprise, growing up, you were kind of a favorite. And I feel like you were kind of invited over more often, or you went on trips with them, or, whatever it was. There was kind of some degree of companionship. And I feel like you were maybe left money, it could have been, or a house or something from them. Maybe even that dog. The dog, I don't think that you like, though. I feel like there was like, even just thinking about the dog, it seems like it was like a nippy kind of dog. But there's a fondness here. And I don't think this really, it almost is kind of like a passing thought. I don't know why they're coming up right now, but I feel like this is not somebody you think about often, but when they come up, it feels very potent. I almost wonder if this is like a thing where you had feared ending up like this. You had almost feared being kind of an outcasted person or self-alienated. And I think that's really what it was. They like kind of alienated themselves. And I'm imagining that, you like to be kind of the hermit to some degree. You're a Capricorn, right? And we have that hermit card. But I think that you're a little more well-adjusted, right? You know how to talk to people. You know how to kind of be respectful and follow some of the social mores, right? You're not locking yourself away and being rude and alienating and judgmental and all that. I can't imagine that. But I think that you actively worked against becoming somebody that was kind of, you know, lived in their own little like ivory tower, right? Created their own little kind of fortress of solitude. And I think that's what ended up kind of being the thing that really tortured them. And so, you know, I think that this is maybe a reminder to you. A reminder, you know, you're a different person. You're your own person. And even when you feel like, yeah, you want to go hermit mode, you need a break. You're peopled out. Then that's okay. That doesn't mean you're going to become some recluse, you know. But I think that at times you worry. You know, you worry. I'm going to end up like, you know, Auntie whoever with her mean dog and her plastic couches or whatever, you know? And so, yeah. Yes, I think this is something that really it stayed with you for sure. Okay, so it feels like a love letter over here. A letter coming in the mail. It is a love letter. It maybe is not. Maybe it's a text, right? I'm like, you open up the mailbox and there's a letter sitting there waiting for you. Yeah, right. I would be like, what the heck is this? Is this a bill? Is this some kind of some kind of different advertising? But yes, I do. I feel that. And it's somebody that I almost feel like they're like maybe an academic, or they have a tone to them that makes you feel almost like this is a really intellectual person. They're very sophisticated, very worldly, and maybe you're even a little bit intimidated in some way, some small way. But I do think that there is this kind of display of amorous attraction and sentiment from this person. And I don't know that, I think that you like it to some degree, but I think that you're also working through, and I have a person with an axe. So I'm wondering if you are going through like a separation or a divorce. Maybe you're still getting over an ex, or maybe you've been widowed or something along these lines, right? And you've decided, I'm going to be alone for a while, or, you know, I'm going to give my relationship another chance, or, you know, whatever it is. But I do feel like this interest that is upon you isn't something that you hate. I don't think, you know, I think that it's actually a little bit flattering, but I don't know that it's the thing for you, right? I think it feels nice to be noticed, but I don't know that you're ready to kind of change fundamental parts of your life to kind of get into this mode of courtship, right? And so, you know, I feel like there's a little bit of maybe being kind of apprehensive. Now, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to pick out 3 of the Oracle of the Radiant Sun cards, and we're just going to kind of see. I want to look at like how is this going to end up playing out, right? I feel like it's I feel like you worry sometimes that you're making decisions because of this idea you have of your life, or what you wanted life to be like, or what you didn't want it to be like. And so sometimes it's like you're making decisions based upon like, okay, this follows the course of this path as it looks on paper. But the actual nuance of life makes it far more complicated. So I want to kind of look and see what's going to be going on here in this next little while. Now we're going to flip through and stop where it feels right. I'm going to pick 3 out. We have inspiration. We have discrimination. Manipulation. Okay. All right, so I want to move this up. We're going to pick 2 more because I want to look and see exactly kind of what's happening here. Criticism. Adaptability. Okay, one more. Escape. All right, so yeah, not necessarily a good match. This person ends up with you trying to get away, I think. Ultimately, I feel like they present themselves in one way. They're manipulative. They're good at the chase. They're good at the courting. They're good at the trying to get what they want, because that's what they're here for, right? But once they have it, they don't want it. Or once they have it, it's like they will smother, right? They will just absolutely be micromanaging, criticizing, all up in your business, telling you what you're doing wrong, how you should do it, what they think. And it's like, dude, I've been alive for however long, right? I somehow, against all odds, am still alive and breathing, right? I'm right here. So I've done something right. Right? And you get into these relationships, or in a relationship with somebody who treats you like a child. And it's like, I'm middle-aged. I'm, older than that. I don't need to be minded, right? So I do. I just feel like the mask that they wear, their persona slips very quickly. But be careful, because they're very adaptable. This is like a chameleon, okay? The rest of it, this just feels like a terrible person. I mean, they might not be terrible, but they just seem like somebody you would not want to spend very much time with once you start to see what it really is. Now, this might actually be an inspiration for you. Okay, this might actually be something that is most necessary to the work that you're doing. And having a relationship or a brief encounter with somebody who totally sucks, sometimes we just, we have to. Because it really does. It puts in perspective what life can really be like, what people can really be like. I don't know about you, but when I was alone for, some years, not dating, living alone, barely, socializing or whatever, I really did forget what people could be like in personal connections, right? Because I was living in my own world, in my own head a lot, and doing interior work and, trying to pay bills and whatever else. But I wasn't knowing anybody, I wasn't really around anybody that much. And then getting back out there, and thankfully the first person I encountered, I ended up marrying. I came out of retirement to marry my husband, basically. But you get into this place that's very close and intimate and difficult. It can be so difficult, right? And so I feel like having these experiences where, yeah, sometimes it goes pretty sour, right? Or it's just, it doesn't ever, from the jump, it's just, there's something that doesn't work here. We need these experiences so that we can know what we don't want, right? Because that's important. It's important to have some idea, some frame of reference about what kind of people we want to spend our time with, you know, how we want to go about this, how are we going to do this dating thing, how are we going to get to know each other, you know, how close are you going to come into my life, you know, all of that. So do not feel downtrodden about it. If it is a situation where, yeah, somebody's like courting you, maybe even kind of love bombing you, and you get to know them and it's like, dude, I do not like this person at all. You know, it happens. It happens. All right, so we do have a person and we have kind of the passage of the moon cycles. We also have an arrow. So I feel like there's going to be, and we have a bird, it looks like migrating. So I feel like in the next 2 weeks or 2 months, right, there's going to be some kind of travel happening for you. And it feels like this is something that you're going to be kind of planning, not like way out. It's not like I'm going to a wedding that I've known about for like the last year and a half and I've booked everything. No, this is like, okay, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to go do something and I better make some plans and get everything sorted. It'll come up pretty quickly. But I do think that this is something that you maybe are like, oh, this is kind of inconvenient, but you end up going, and I feel like it's a place where you will find some kind of clarity. Maybe see things a little from a different perspective, because you're out of your normal environment, out of your normal routine. And so I could see this really being something that it doesn't feel that big, like a big deal. But once you get out there and you're doing the thing, yeah, there's really this moment where you look at maybe some parts of your life and you think, wow, that's really got to change. You know, that's not working for me, you know, or whatever. Or maybe I really love something that I didn't realize that like was so important to me, and I'm going to put more time into that, or, you know, whatever it is. So definitely when this travel presents itself, take advantage, go and do the thing. All right, so we're going to do our Cincy Child affirmation cards, and I'm going to go ahead and stop where it feels right. And it says, my mistakes are opportunities to learn lessons. My mistakes are opportunities to learn lessons. There we go. Sometimes we have to make those mistakes, date the wrong people, you know, and find out, right? Okay, so Capricorn, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you haven't subscribed, think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Absolutely. And yeah, I guess that's it. All right. Again, I'm going to tell you, I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.